Well, I know Willie Brown very well. In fact, I went down in a helicopter with him. We thought maybe this is the end. We were in a helicopter going to a certain location together, and there was an emergency landing. This was not a pleasant landing, and Willie was, he was a little concerned. So I know him pretty well. I mean, I haven't seen him in years. But he told me terrible things about her. But this is what you're telling me anyway, I guess. But he had a big part in what happened with Kamala.
Okay, so that is Death Wish Donald there, telling a harrowing story of him going down in a helicopter with Willie Brown. And you won't be surprised to find out that it's not true. It is made up, and he got the wrong Mr. Brown. He confused Willie Brown, who was the mayor of San Francisco, former mayor of San Francisco, with Jerry Brown, the former governor of California. Here they are next to one another. And Willie Brown was actually asked about this, and we can't play that for you because it's local news, but he let out about a 30-second laugh, which was just wonderful. And he was like in between bites of food. He said that he was dreaming, that Trump was dreaming. He said, "I've never done business with Donald Trump." Let's start with that. Secondly, I don't think I'd want to ride on the same helicopter with him. He was doing what Donald does best, his creative fiction, which is one way, it's like the most flattering thing you could say about Donald Trump's lies. He also said, "You know me well enough to know that if I almost went down in a helicopter with anybody, you would have heard about it."
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
Now, Trump was on a helicopter with Governor Jerry Brown and Gavin Newsom in 2018, surveying the damage of the campfire in the town of Paradise. However, a spokesperson for Newsom said Friday there was no problem with the flight, no emergency landing, no conversation about Kamala Harris. "I call complete BS," Newsom said, laughing out loud. Again, another laugh. Jerry Brown again left office in 2019, and through a spokesperson, he said there was no emergency landing, no discussion of Kamala Harris. So is Trump having his Brian Williams moment? Like, what's going on?
Well,
what's happening?
Well, it's a good question. Maybe we should have done a poll on it. Is he having a Brian Williams moment or a Joe Biden moment, where he can't tell the difference between Willie Brown and Jerry Brown? Okay, look, guys, there's two things. Either he's like senile and totally lost it, and then I say, okay, then I feel bad for him, right? Or, God, this guy loves to make things up. Oh my God, you remember how he started? He said, "I know Willie Brown very well." And apparently not well enough to tell the difference between him and Jerry Brown. I mean, they're both bald, and they are both from California.
Murphy Brown was there too.
Charlie Brown
woman.
tried to kick a football.
He always misses. Lucy, she's just like Kamala. Always moving the football, Lucy.
You know, I told the father of soul, I know you really well. Okay, James, right? All right. And then he said in there, and this is going to get into an interesting. He said, "I thought maybe this is the end." There was no emergency landing. There was nothing wrong with the helicopter, but Trump thought maybe this is the end. So there's two possibilities on that one too. Like I would normally say, like he's embellishing a story for no reason at all. He's totally crazy, just making this stuff up. But Newsom, remember, is in the helicopter, and when they asked him about that part, he said that Mr. Trump had, I'm quoting New York Times here, had, however, repeatedly brought up the possibility of crashing. So in other words, he was just scared in the helicopter. That's why, like that moment when he raised his fist after he got shot, it was just the most remarkable thing I've ever seen. Not just because, hey, that was a good moment and he was courageous there, because I couldn't believe that Trump was courageous. Because every other story about Donald Trump is how scared he is. Of all the stories I've read, and I've now had the misfortune of reading thousands of stories about Donald Trump, his personal life, his business life, his political life, and at every turn there's any kind of danger, he's like, ah, right? And so maybe in the helicopter, he was so freaked out when it was just a normal helicopter ride, that he remembered as it's almost over now. Willie, what are we gonna do? Okay, but
I'm Jerry. Whatever. Hold me.
But my main point is, MAGA, you guys are incredible. I mean, look, I get it. A lot of Democrats also were like, no, I don't see it. I don't see that Joe Biden's too old. So I get it, right? We didn't do that, but a lot of people, good people did that, right? But you guys, the fact that you can't see that Trump's a pathological liar is amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
It's all. I just want to tell those folks, it's almost over. Like, I know that in your heart of hearts, you see stuff like that, and you're like, I don't know. I have a loyalty. I've been a fan for a while, but he's not the same guy he was in 2016. He's not the same guy he was in 2020, and you can just not vote or vote for Kamala, and it's all over. He gets to go back to doing what he wants, which is complaining about not being president. He loves that more than the responsibility itself.
Yes.
When you're talking about, when Cenk, you said about the, how he was courageous in the moment after he got shot at or shot. There was a lot that happened in between the shooting and when he pumped his fists, including people telling him it's all clear, he's down, and Trump saying, hold on, my shoes. Hold on, my shoes. Hold on.
Magic shoes.
My shoes. Like, there's a lot happening. And all that does to me, yeah, sure, it might inform his courageousness, but it also just is like, what system takes over in his mind? And for Donald Trump, it's always the photo op system ends up winning out.
Yeah.
He knows it. He's a truffle pig for stuff to talk about. He sniffs it out, that stuff that people who don't know anything will talk about around a water cooler at work to complain. That's where his wheelhouse is.
Let me just jump in with Caroline Leavitt, because there are still people who have to make excuses for him. This was Caroline Leavitt trying to cover up for Trump, clearly misremembering this story.
The former president gave a press briefing yesterday, and in that 1 hour, he claimed that he went down in a helicopter with the former San Francisco mayor, Willie Brown. And now he's been interviewed about it, and he denies ever being in a helicopter with Willie Brown. Can you shed any light on that?
I would just defer you to President Trump's statement and what he said yesterday. The president has a lot of amazing stories from his life. As we all know, he was a businessman and a celebrity for decades prior to entering politics, and I would just leave it at that.
Except he was president during that time.
They all look like AI, right? Like every host on Newsmax looks like AI, like it has the trappings of a person, but there's something a little off about it. Like, and they're doing an impression of an actual host. It's amazing. That guy's eyebrows were amazing. I loved him so much.
Yeah.
But again, to your point, like Caroline Leavitt is like, this is the spokesperson. This is like, she's stuck with all this. She's the new Kayleigh McEnany, except she won't ever get a CNN contract. You know what I mean? Like it, at least, we hope.
Yeah, guys, and again, it's so sad how honesty is so rare in media and politics. So when Biden said that his uncle was eaten by cannibals, the first thing we said was, no, he wasn't. Okay, that's absurd. Biden made that up, and he cray. Okay, so you could be honest. No, every right-wing media was like, no, it was Willie Brown, and they almost crashed. But you know what? Donald Trump picked up the helicopter by his bare hands and put it on the ground. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's what happened. Okay, do better and ask for better from your politicians.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. We really appreciate it, guys. And we appreciate it if you become members, because that allows us to be independent, honest, progressive, all the things that you don't get from corporate media. And all of that is because of you guys. Hit the join button below and become one of us, become a young Turk.